Welcome to another episode of the Car Girl Show with Jesse and my co-host Janis.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome. I'm awesome today.
Me too.
In downtown Toronto.
Yeah, it's actually quite a nice day today for a change. So
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about a awesome topic because as a business owner myself and working with dealerships, everybody kind of suffers from the follow-up.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to really pick your brain today because you are the expert when it comes to
queen.
BDC. You're the follow-up queen. I've learned so much from Janis. And I want to kind of share with our audience some of those tips that you've taught me along the way and that really work, right?
Sure. And this, don't forget our show is automotive specific. We're here to help the car industry. We're here to help people on the floor. The front lines of automotive retail is what we're all about.
Right. And even managers. I mean, this is something that everyone needs to really understand about what a follow-up system actually entails, right?
And I think in automotive, there's lots of turnover. There's lots of attrition going on. There's people leaving the industry. There's new people coming in. So I think what's old is new again. And I think we need to revisit processes and things that have worked in the past.
Yeah. And we're really taught how to, what the sales process is from beginning to end, and that is ingrained in you on the sales floor, right? And how to close the sale. That's another one. It's all about the closing. But
what happens when the customer takes delivery of the car?
Exactly.
Some dealerships do have a good process in place. The manufacturer, the OEM, certainly has a process in place. I'm talking about strictly for salespeople. Your number one, so I'm talking about a process that starts after delivery.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So one of the things, and I used to teach Introduction to Automotive Sales. I used to teach doing a good delivery. So going back to that, one of the things, after you deliver the car, if you deliver the car in the morning, follow-ups in the afternoon. Your first follow-up, same day.
I would assume give it some time and maybe the next day,
No, because what happens, and if you've been selling cars for any length of time, you'll know exactly what I'm saying here. You don't do your follow-up. You don't call the customer right away after they drive off the lot with the car. Where do you see them? You see them in service.
Right.
Why? Because there's a problem, there's an issue, and they're coming back. So get in front of that. The first thing that you can do on a delivery is get in front of that. Where you call right away. So I deliver a car in the morning, I'm calling in the afternoon. Hey, Jesse, just thought I would check on your new Santa Fe. How's it going? Did you have any questions? Did we forget anything while you were here? That is
and
good. That's good service.
They're still excited, right? Because they just got the car and it still has that new car smell, hopefully.
Could be the time to plant a seed for referral as well.
Oh, yeah, when they're happy.
But who hasn't done this where the customer comes right back, I forgot my sunglasses in the car. Now, if you follow a good delivery process, the customer won't forget anything in the car.
Right, but it happens. It's happened to me.
Or they have a question or something that you didn't cover. So it starts right there.
Yeah.
So you deliver the car in the morning, the follow-ups in the afternoon. You deliver it at night, the follow-ups first thing the next day. Okay. So it's having a process like that where you check it off. Okay. Your next follow-up, which is staying close. And this is something the Car Girls, my company, offers as a process. We're doing this for dealers, and it's going to be part of that new product I was telling you about that includes a follow-up life cycle for the dealership customer.
Oh, right. Okay.
But
so what is that about exactly?
This is where we're going to offer dealers a follow-up system where they can enroll their customer in our follow-up system, where we're calling the customer. It includes mailings. It includes actually a really exciting gift with our partner, our Canada Post partner. So it is a really exciting program. Details are going to be on our website in our new Car Girl Superpower piece.
Oh, okay.
So more to follow on that. But one of the things that I think, not with the Car Girl, if you have a BDC or service or sales could do this, but I think it's important, is a 3-day follow-up by the BDC. So it's not something that relies on the salesperson.
I was going to ask, what if the customer didn't find the experience to be as wonderful as
are they going to tell the salesperson?
I mean, I would think that they're not going to tell the person. And I wouldn't have, say you were awful
Jessie,
when they call. Yeah. So,
and that speaks back to even having unsold follow-up. What if the customer or the prospect didn't love the salesperson?
Right, and that happens where it just wasn't a fit. They didn't click.
And the only person to follow up is the salesperson. So this speaks to the same kind of thing you're talking about. There's power in third-party calling. There's a power in a different voice. It works. So we call it 3 to 4 days after delivery. It's a really good time frame because they haven't done their sales satisfaction index survey from the manufacturer. So that's a time to visit that with the customer. Hopefully they've received it. So depending on the process from your OEM, let's find out, people, when is that survey going out? That's when I would time it. When that's falling into the customer's inbox, it's top of mind. Most people, if they had a great experience, not very many will fill out a perfect survey. It's when they had a bad experience you're going to hear from them. But they will if they're asked. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with asking the customer to give you a good survey. You guys, you need them. You need this you need your SSI.
Yes.
Maybe at this time now, I think the Google review is actually on delivery, but if we need to plant the seed, we could for that as well. Yeah. Especially with online reviews becoming more and more important. With people doing all their research online, they're looking up dealers beforehand. They are reading your reviews. Pay attention to that, dealers. We could do a whole show just on
that's
that.
A whole other thing,
and how to respond. And just respond, period, to your Google reviews. But so we're talking about a 4-day, a 5-day follow-up call to the customer to check in. Hey, did you see that survey coming in from Honda? It's really important. It's really important to your salesperson, John Smith. It would make a difference to him if you could help him out. So it's easier for the BDC. It's easier for me to ask the customer to give you a good rating. Is there any reason why you couldn't fill out that survey correctly?
And a lot of people, they don't like to ask, right?
The salesperson doesn't like to ask.
Salesperson, they're shy to ask someone to, hey, say some nice things about me.
The customer does not mind doing it if they had a great experience. They have to be asked, though. And I've made these type of calls, and I've had the customer go and get the email from their deleted items and fill it out, and let's get that survey in for the salesperson. So that's just one reason for that follow-up, okay? And that if your manufacturer doesn't want you soliciting surveys, then maybe that isn't something you do either. But it's a touch point to let that customer know at 3 days, at 4 days, at 5 days, we haven't forgotten about them. Is everything okay? Right. A lot of times I find myself maybe sweeping up something from the sales department. I was supposed to have an extra key. Floor mats were supposed to be in that came with the vehicle. Something wasn't installed. They had a question about an item.
And even, what about just scheduling their first service appointment?
Now, let's talk about first service, because a lot of dealers are doing this. They want that first service scheduled on delivery.
Right,
so schedule the first service on delivery. Yes. I've seen it cause a multitude of problems. One of the things, if the dealer's DMS, if your dealer management system has an algorithm in place that's looking at last service date, last appointment date, mileage driven, and you set that first appointment, which is kind of a fake appointment, because the customer doesn't know exactly when they're going to be due, how many kilometers or miles they're going to be driving. Yeah. They don't know exactly when they are going to be due for that first service and what day is going to be available for them. Yeah, like with Toyota, it's 8,000 kilometers. Oh yeah, I'm going to be at 8,000 kilometers next September, a Tuesday at 10. That works for me. Life doesn't work this way. So what happens is they set the appointment in the system, and then if the system has a forecasting or reporting system where it's pulling up people due for service customers, it's not pulling those people up because the system thinks an appointment's already been made for them, and it hasn't. So I've just seen this turn into a bit of a mess because the OEM, the manufacturer, wants the dealership to set a date on delivery. They're doing that, and then the customer isn't being pulled properly into forecasting, and then they don't get the reminder call, and then that all-important first service, the customer's going sometimes to a third-party provider, the big triangle store, Costco, Walmart. I mean, Quick Lube, whoever's,
whatever.
the lube factory.
Yeah.
Menike or whatever, whoever's got the sign out.
Right.
Versus coming back to the dealership. Okay, and we know
that once they start going somewhere else, they're a lot less likely.
They're establishing a relationship with a third-party provider. Right. We don't want that to happen. Yes. We want that all-important first service. That's why, and again, if we're talking about follow-up process, so day 1, day 4, we plant the seed. This is where to introduce the customer care center, which is your BDC. Okay, and by the way, dealerships, BDC is not a customer-facing term. Just like we don't say gross or dealer trade, or let's keep that term. It's customer care.
They don't know what that means.
It's customer care when we're talking to our customer. It's BDC internally. Right. So, the entire dealership can understand what the business development department does. When we call the customer, it's customer care. So, customer care calls at 4 days, 5 days, whatever that process is. Yeah. They're asking for an SSI. Email. Okay, that's something else that I love to see as a touch point here. Let's confirm email. How many times have we seen the wrong email address?
Oh my gosh. Or the number put into the wrong field and stuff. I mean, this is the time, like you said, to be collecting the data, the correct data, so we can use it later.
Let's do some data verification here.
Exactly.
Make sure we've got the email address right.
Yes.
Let's ask for that SSI, and let's plant the seed. So here we can say, Mr. Customer, I see you're driving.
Continues.
I see you're driving about 2,000 kilometers a month. It's going to put you in month 4 is when we're going to see you for that first service. So that first check-in. Yeah. So, Mr. Customer, that's September. We're going to be calling you around August. Is this the best number to get you? In case there is a recall, some information that you need to know about quickly. What's another number? Right. Because salespeople, F&I office, financial services office are not always putting in all the phone numbers. There's another tip for you to get all those phone numbers in the DMS, please. So in the right field.
Let's just recap because we've given you a lot of information. So let's just do a quick recap before we conclude this episode. So you're saying first thing is that the salesperson should be following up just to make sure that everything is okay day one. Either in the afternoon or the following morning, right? And this also, we touched on this on another episode, which is in the link in the comments below here, when we talked about branding, right? And that being part of your branding and making sure you're taking care of your customers, right? So that's number 1. And then number 2 is on day 4, I believe, right? And this is where your
That's a BDC follow-up. And I like a follow-up for the salesperson. And this is a follow-up. Most dealerships have a CRM. They do have a process in place where the salesperson is calling, let's say, day 2, day 7, day 30. But who has ever looked in the CRM, look under a salesperson name, and it's all red because they haven't done any other follow-up. So I do like to put a process in that works without the salesperson.
Okay.
Again, because of turnover, because salespeople get busy, because salespeople aren't great at follow-up.
From the start.
And get in front of the sales process.
Well, that is immensely helpful. I know for just my own knowledge, I hope we've been able to provide you guys with some really good tips here. On follow-up. Please show us some love in the comments below. Make sure you share this, like it, show some support. We'll continue doing this and providing you weekly tips on things that are relevant to your success at the dealership.
Automotive retail.
News you can use, exactly. Till next time, take care, everyone. Thanks, Janis.
Okay.